So what I want to do is want to play exactly what Michael Jordan had to say here, and then want to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what the GOAT had to say here.
4 years ago, he told a Hall of Fame crowd not to laugh, but don't be surprised if he steps back on the court when he's 50. No, Michael Jordan isn't suiting up for his team he owns. If he was, we wouldn't be doing this in the C block. It'd be our top story in the A's. But he has an edge over his own players, those Bobcats. Now, earlier this year, the second overall pick, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, admitted MJ schooled him one-on-one.
Well, of course he did. That's a lot of knowledge there, a lot of skills. That never goes away, right? And when Michael talks, well, pretty much everybody listens. In anticipation of today's release of NBA 2K14, MJ sat down with the game's creators to discuss all manner of all things basketball.
Physically, it was a much more physical game than what it is today. You know, you couldn't walk across the lane without getting checked, you know, or the screens, you know, illegal screens, holding. You always had to pay a price. You know, be it if you were aggressive and you were a gun-ho guy and you go in with the understanding that I'm gonna get hit, I'm gonna pay the price, but you know, that's part of the game. You know, I'm not gonna be afraid to go inside. Those are types of things that these kids don't even have a clue of how we had to grow up or how we had to play. You know, I'm playing in my camp against O.J. Mayo. He was a top high school kid coming out, and I never met him first time. In front of my camp, he starts this thing about, you can't guard me, you can't do this. You know, I got my campers here, so obviously I can't really go where I want to go because of my camp. So I stop the camp, send the kids to bed. We go back to playing. And he starts his whole thing, you know, that you can't guard me, you can't do this. And then finally I said, look, dude, you may be the best high school player, but I'm the best player in the world. So from this point on, it's a lesson. And from that point on, it was a lesson. He never won a game. I posted him up. I did everything. If I can ever show you that film, and if you can ever ask him that, ask him about the thing that happened at my camp. If I was in my prime, who would I want to play one-on-one with? That list is very long. I start off with Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Kobe Bryant in his prime, LeBron in his prime, D. Wade in his prime, Melo. That's a good start. Yeah. I don't think I lose. Other than Kobe Bryant, because he steals all my moves.
So you heard what Michael Jordan had to say. You heard him. He said that he thinks that Kobe's the only person that could beat him. Now he threw a joke in there. He's like, because he stole all my moves. Let me ask you guys a question. How many players that have come into the NBA since Michael Jordan has retired have wanted to emulate Michael Jordan? How many would you think? What percentage of players do you think that would be? Do you think it'd be more than 50%? Do you be more than 60%? More than 70%? I would say about 70%. Out of those 70%, how many of them have been were actually able to pull it off? Best of my recollection, 1. A lot of these dudes tried to do what Jordan could, but they couldn't do it. That's the reality. You see some of them try to emulate some of his shots, pull up, do fadeaways is ugly as hell, like clanky as hell, disgusting. Like, yo, what is this? A lot of people tried, and a lot of people failed. But there was only one person that was actually able to pull it off, and that was Kobe. Now, I've heard people that have compared Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan closely. Some people have said some of the things that Kobe does better than Jordan. For instance, some people said that Kobe has more range than Jordan. Some people said that Kobe was a better ball handler than Michael Jordan. He was a little bit more skilled. But then there are other people that said that Jordan was a better defender. He was stronger. Obviously, he had bigger hands. He was more athletic and more efficient, right? So there are pros and cons. But overall, the vast majority of the people are going to give the edge to Jordan, including me. But to hear Michael Jordan, who is the most competitive basketball player that we know of, for him to say in the public forum that I would like to play against Kobe, but Kobe would possibly beat me, or he is unsure that he would beat Kobe Bryant. For Jordan to say that about Kobe Bryant, what does that say about Kobe? Because he didn't mention any of you other dudes' favorite players. I didn't hear any of you other dudes' favorite players up there. He mentioned Kobe's. Kobe. So what does that say about Kobe? So if Michael Jordan is saying that Kobe could beat him in a one-on-one game, how is Kobe not top 3 all time? How is he not top 3 all time? How? Well, because I'm a hater. How is he not? I've heard people come up with one stupid thing. Recently, I heard Shannon Sharp go on ESPN First Take, and they were reacting to Kevin Durant's comments about being in the GOAT. And Shannon Sharp came up with a criteria that is all his own. He said that the only way I can consider you to be in the GOAT conversation is if you have to have 4 regular season MVPs, which means that him and LeBron can make it into the list. And then I wanted to ask a question if I could. I said, do you think that a player with a losing record in the finals deserves to be in a GOAT conversation? It's a real question I'm asking. Do you think a player with a losing record in the finals should be considered for the GOAT? You have your criteria, I presented mine. If you believe yours is fair, do you believe mine is fair? Should a player that has a losing record in the finals be in consideration for the greatest player ever? It's a serious question. Because if we look at the vast majority of top 5 players, they all have winning records. Or top 10 players. Almost all of them. There's only 1 or 2 that have a horrendous record. LeBron is one of them. Kobe's 5-7. Jordan is 6-0. Tim Duncan is 5-1. Shaq is, I think Shaq is 4 and I think Shaq is 4-5 or 4-6 or something like that. Who else? I can't think of others. I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is 6-10 or something like that. So the vast majority of them have winning records. But why would that be okay? Why would that losing be okay? So Shannon Sharp just made it up. He just made it up because it's something that works for him. I heard something else yesterday that was quite weird from Rashard McCann. I don't know why he said it. He said that I wish I could get clutch checks too. At the end of the day, one day somebody's gonna reveal the truth about these boys. One day, this year 2024, maybe the truth will come out.